chat! My house is burning down!
That's a quote along the lines of what KJaneCaron was saying after she almost saw her kitchen engulfed in flames during a cooking accident. This story takes us back to May of 2022, when a streamer of the name KJaneCaron was doing some cooking during her subathon. With just shy of 11.5 hours to go, she was frying up what seems to be some sort of meat, what a Sportskeeda article believes to be a brisket, and she seemingly had her food on too high of a heat as it's smoking up and the oil within the pan is spitting. She fans the smoke and takes the meat out of the pan, putting it on her plate. The pan then combusts, and what happens next is absolutely wild. So let's take a look at the clip. But before we do, I think I should clarify that KJaneCaron was fine. She didn't like burn to a crisp or anything. I'm not going to mention anyone in this video that got severely burned or seriously injured or anything, so you don't have to worry about any of that. With that said, let's roll the clip.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh oh god. I don't know what to do, guys, I don't know what to do. Shit. Help! 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 I don't know what to do, you guys! Guys, I don't know what to do! Help! Help! Fuck! Fuck! I don't have a fire extinguisher! Fuck! Shit! 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 Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't know what to do! Help! Help! I need a fire extinguisher! I need to put this out! I don't know what to do! Help me, please! I need help! Oh my god.
Now, I want to mention that I don't want to sit here and just point and laugh at KJaneCaron or anyone else I feature in this video too much. These are very stressful situations, and a lot of people just don't think clearly and rationally when just suddenly thrust into a high pressure scenario. That said, I think it would be worth doing a play-by-play. So fire emerges, she tries to blow it out I think, and then immediately tries to put this fire into the sink, where the flames go even more extreme for a split second. This is because what she has on her hands is a grease fire. And if this video could serve as a piece of advice to a single person watching it, never put water on a grease fire. Otherwise, this will happen.
Turn your stove off and put some water on the oil. But now here's what happens when you put water on.
It might seem instinctual, we're taught through Pokemon that water beats fire, but in real life this only applies in certain situations. And in an oil fire, as I hope KJaneCaron knows now, you do not use water.
Oh shit! Oh fuck!
Outside of not putting water on a grease fire, I have relatively little experience in fire safety, so I reached out to you guys and I actually had a firefighter reply. Jeff has apparently worked as a volunteer firefighter for 12 years in Pennsylvania, and he said that in this scenario she should have kept the pan where it was. Moving it about added more oxygen to the fire, and in this scenario you want to take oxygen away. He also said that because she moved it, it caused the oil to splash and a second fire to start. So it's best to keep the pan where it is in a situation like this. He then says that it would have been best to cover the pan with a lid, as this would remove oxygen from it, which is an essential part of the fire triangle. If you take just one of these away, whether that be the heat, fuel or oxygen, a fire cannot survive. In this instance, she didn't have a fire extinguisher, so Jeff says that she could have used baking soda instead. Eventually the fuel burnt out, causing the fire to die, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. Regardless, she then puts the pan back on the hob, without turning the heat off mind you, and starts yelling for help. Maybe she's yelling at her neighbours, or maybe a housemate for help? God, I hope she is. But it seems like she's asking her chat for help, which is an interesting move.
I don't know what to do, guys, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, you guys! Guys, I don't know what to do!
Like, chat cannot save you if your house is burning down, lady. Surely we've gone much too far as a society if people are begging their chat to come and save the day. I mean, even still, she didn't actually have to do anything. As you can clearly see in the video, her running away seemed to do more to save her than her own active actions. People on the internet reacted to this mishap, and while some were quite understanding that she probably just didn't know how to react, others laughed at her poor handling of the situation. For example, people on Reddit mocked her for swinging this burning pan full of oil around, with them saying that she got very lucky that she wasn't able to get the tap on, because if she did, it's very likely that the situation could have gotten even more dangerous. She's since put the clip on her channel for members only, but the clip went viral around the internet, with it getting around 4 million views on Insider Edition. It seems as though she might have mildly burnt herself too, but it could have been a lot worse. This was one instance where a streamer got very lucky that she didn't burn her house down. But not everyone in today's video will be quite so fortunate. Today, we'll be taking a look at several different streamers that had fire scares whilst live. As with KJaneCaron's incident, I'm not going to include any stories of people that got seriously hurt or died because of their fires, but there will be a few instances of some severe property damage and maybe some singed eyebrows. With that said, let's move past that baptism of fire and get onto our second story, that being of Daasuke. So this might be the most recognizable livestream fire of all time. It was definitely one of the first ones to spread around the internet like, well, wildfire. This happened back in 2015 and concerns a then 40-year-old Japanese man who goes by the name Daasuke. He was playing Minecraft when he decided to try and light a cigarette with his oil match lighter, but it soon set alight. Firefighter Jeff said this was likely because he overfilled the lighter. He starts panicking and throws the lit match into a bin bag containing what the Huffington Post describes as oil-soaked tissues. And of course, this in turn begins setting alight, but he doesn't realise. So now he's got two active flames. The bag behind him is burning up quickly, and he decides to move it to the corner of his room with the cardboard boxes. He even starts trying to fan or poke at the fire with some cardboard, which is perhaps one of the worst things you could possibly do in this situation. Jeff the firefighter said that in this instance, instead of trying to hit at the flames with some cardboard, he should have grabbed a big pot of water immediately. He then runs away for a bit and the flames get huge. He then returns with what seems to be a dog bowl full of water, which doesn't do too much. He tries to hit at the flames, which looks to do a little better, but the flames just won't die. Apparently, the chat is giving advice to douse the flames in wet clothes, which according to the top comment is good advice. Since this isn't an oil flame, the fuel is paper after all, this doesn't seem to be too bad of a move. If we take a look back at the fire triangle, water would be used to take away the heat. But in an instance unlike the KJaneCaron fire, where the chat in this case might have been of some assistance, it seems as though Daasuke didn't see these tips, probably too focused at the task at hand, despite unfortunately making the wrong moves at almost every turn along the way. According to Kotaku.com, Daasuke, alongside his 73-year-old mother, 68-year-old father, and 62-year-old relative, sustained injuries, but the extent of these injuries was unknown. Shortly after this went down, an interesting video related to the situation was uploaded to YouTube. This video was titled Japanese Letters, Japanese Fire Streamer's House, and in this video you can see the damage done to the property. The house is still standing, which is good, and you can see that from one angle it doesn't look like too much exterior damage was done, but on the other side though, yeah, some serious damage was definitely done. The comments on this video all seem to be written in kanji, and let's just say the Japanese were not too happy with him. Comments were saying they felt bad for his parents because they're now retirement age and were probably planning on retiring in that house. But they have a 40-year-old neat of a son on their hands, aka not in education, employment or training, that burned their house down and made them a laughingstock because the entire world got to see it happen. The entire thing was spread around the internet with the clip going viral. even James Corden got in on the action, with several other high-profile news outlets also reporting on the story. The Daily Mail claimed that one person even died, but I don't trust their reliability, and I couldn't find the same claim anywhere else after extensively looking around on the internet. I could, however, find a local report about the incident that was put into a Japanese newspaper. According to a Reddit translation, the newspaper reads that the fire occurred around 2:45 PM on October 4th. It says that Daasuke was 40 and lived with 3 other people inside the 2-story home, including his father who was 68 and his mother who was 73, so just like the Kotaku document said. According to the Reddit translation, the identity of the 4th person isn't stated. It apparently says that 3 people were injured, suffering from burns and other unspecified injuries. I would assume that none of these injuries were fatal though, as I feel like this would have been mentioned if people had died. In total, about 30% of the home burned down, 37 square meters out of 125. Unfortunately, I couldn't find out anything more about Daasuke afterwards. When you look him up on Google, everything that comes up is just about the fire, so whether he continued streaming afterwards or just what happened to him, well, that's a mystery to me. But what happened to the next streamer we're set to talk about, known as HiHeyItsDani, is definitely no mystery, as her recent brush with a blaze has been the hot topic within online circles as of late. So let's take a look at it. HiHeyItsDani, or Dani as I'll be calling her for the purposes of this story, is a kick streamer with roughly 7,000 followers as of the time I record this video. But a few weeks back, her name was thrust into the headlines after she had a fire scare during a live stream. Now, I should warn you that Dani is a kick streamer that describes herself as the ultimate streaming companion for all things fun and flirty, which is why I take it that she's cooking whilst in lingerie and why her sub goal is 69. That's not exactly too relevant to the story, but I think it's good context to why she appears half naked. With that said, let's take a look at what happened.
Bro, what the f is that?
Wait!
That shit is smoking so much.
Oh my god,
Oh my
Tanner's
God,
on fire!
it's on fire!
It's on fire!
Bro.
What do I do?
Turn it off! What the f?
What do I do?
Bro, turn
what
it
do I
off!
do?
Turn it off!
Tanner, hurry up! Tanner!
Turn it off!
Tanner! Turn it off!
I don't know what to do!
Oh my god!
Grab
Turn it off!
the...
Tanner! Grab that! Tanner!
What?
Oh my god, Tanner!
What is it?
Tanner!
What is it?
Oh my god, Tanner! Tanner!
I don't know what it is!
Grab the signature! Tanner!
So doing another play-by-play, first of all, whatever she's cooking is smoking way too much. Dani, you need to turn the heat down. Of course, then it catches a light, and the number one thing that she does is just stand there and panic, almost reminiscent of Spencer from iCarly.
Oh my god, Tanner's
God,
on fire! It's on fire!
Bro.
What do I do? Oh my god, it's on fire!
Then a person that I assume is her boyfriend comes over, and they are reacting much too slowly. To me, it looks like she's been frozen by fear. She's been thrust into this high pressure scenario in an instant, and the flames are growing larger with each passing second. The guy doesn't know what to do either, and it's later revealed that he doesn't know how to turn the stove off. He keeps telling her to turn it off because he doesn't know where the button is.
I don't know what it is!
Grab the signature!
If I'm not mistaken in saying, it turns out to be behind the flame on the wall, which seems to be a very poor design choice for this exact reason. In the end, he throws the pan off the stove, and again, I want to add that I'm no fire expert, but especially with those wooden cabinets, I feel as though the pair were quite lucky that it didn't start spreading. Speaking of the experts though, our firefighter friend Jeff said that this incident should have been handled similarly to our first. So once again, cover it with a lid to take away the oxygen. Don't, under any circumstances, use water, and if you don't have a fire extinguisher, use baking soda. Dani would eventually start fanning the smoke away, then she got changed into a jumper, and then, and I kid you not, literally 20 minutes after the fire scare, they started reacting to the clip.
Turn it off!
Dani's stream would then proceed to last another 5 hours. This clip then caught the attention of Moist Critical, who within a video that has now been seen almost 2 million times, had this to say.
Yesterday a streamer set her kitchen on fire, and it was dangerously close to just becoming like a crematorium.
Dani has been severely roasted ever since, with her tweeting out a post saying, "Y'all act like it was your kitchen I set on fire." And of course, people responded to this with hate and mockery. It's likely that Dani didn't take the situation too seriously though, because she later tweeted out that she's planning to sell the outfit that she wore during the video. I really hope that means the outfit she changed into afterwards, but unfortunately my better sense is telling me that's not the case. But Dani definitely counts as yet another creator that played with fire. We're getting a bit darker now, with the next creator we're set to talk about losing a lot to the flames. Let's discuss the house fire of GimpyGod. So GimpyGod, real name Lance Carr, is a streamer that is quadriplegic due to being born with muscular dystrophy. And back during the tail end of 2021, he lost almost everything after a fire started in his house while he was live on Twitch. He was playing Diablo 2 Resurrected while it happened, and as the broadcast continued, you could see the room begin to fill with smoke. Of all the fires that featured within this video, you could argue that this one was perhaps the most tragic, as this one did some serious damage to essentially everything that GimpyGod owned. GimpyGod would post a picture of the damage on Twitter, and as you can see, the house is absolutely destroyed. It's a skeleton comprised of smouldering ash. However, that isn't even the worst of it. You would imagine that GimpyGod's family would have some sort of insurance to help them out, and while they did, the insurance company were really trying to pinch at pennies in what's frankly a disgusting twist of fate. This fire was so out of control that not only did it burn their house down to ash, soot and rubble, but it also destroyed their wheelchair accessible car. For someone like GimpyGod, having a wheelchair accessible vehicle is extremely important for obvious reasons. But because their car was in the driveway and not technically in the garage, the insurance company refused to pay for it. It was a few feet away from technically being inside the property, so it didn't count, despite being completely destroyed and unusable. For the next year, Lance and his family would be homeless, being in and out of hospitals and hotels, with Lance reportedly not being able to properly bathe in this time. A tremendous amount of the facilities that they had to make Lance's life as high quality as possible was destroyed, and replacing it was extremely expensive, with the insurance allegedly not financing that either, making all of this an incredibly sad story. But flash forward to October 2022, and Moist Critical will cover the story on his channel.
The point is, there's been a lot of very sad moments broadcast on Twitch, but what I want to talk to you about today is by far one of the saddest. This is the story of a streamer named GimpyGod.
In this video that now has the best part of 2 million views, Charlie would expose Lance's story to the masses and announce that he was doing a charity stream in support of him.
I'm doing a bit of a charity stream fundraiser to help GimpyGod and his family so they can hopefully afford the adaptive equipment again and improve Lance's quality of life.
And this stream would go down extremely well, with Moist Critical making a video 2 weeks later titled "You Deserve This," and this video would be seen more than 2.5 million times. Within it, Charlie revealed that the stream had made a significant impact and that they had achieved their goal, with Charlie singing his praises for the community coming together to help Lance out.
So on stream, the total that was raised by the community was $47,000. Which to me is mind-blowing, because this wasn't like a pre-announced stream or anything. Like, we just did it on a random day and a lot of people showed up to support, and it means the world to me and obviously to the entire Carr family.
He went on to reveal that Lance had given him updates and had confirmed that not only was the family able to move back into a house, but they could now also afford a $30,000 lift that allowed Lance to properly wash himself. On top of the $46,000 raised via Charlie's stream, Lance had also created a GoFundMe that was able to raise a further $35,000, seemingly making enough so that Lance could shut off donations. Flash forward to today, and it seems as though life is fortunately back to normal for Lance. He's back to streaming on his Twitch, he's still active on Twitter, and most recently uploaded a video to YouTube back in July. And so, while this was perhaps one of the most tragic fires that occurred during a live streamer's broadcast, there was a silver lining, with many people on the internet coming together and donating towards a very worthy cause, helping Lance and his family out in their hour of need. However, while GimpyGod's story was very well known to the public because of Moist Critical's videos and subsequent stream, the next streamer we're set to talk about, well, his story was a lot less known, and that's despite it being a very similar incident. This was the unfortunate fire of Radishboy. So Radishboy is a streamer with a little more than 10,000 followers on Twitch that experienced tragedy back in early 2022 after a fire started within his house. One that, as you might expect because of the theme of this video, began while he was live. At the time, he was streaming old school RuneScape. Radish had a pregnant wife and 3 kids in the house, and fortunately they were all able to make it out with their lives intact. If you're interested in finding out the source of the fire, according to Radish, it started because of a malfunctioning coffee pot. The house, however, was unlivable. Radish would post this picture onto Twitter, confirming that the house was ruined. In response, it seems as though a lot of people within the old school RuneScape community gave Radishboy their unwavering support, with Radish stating on Twitter that he had been receiving an unbelievable amount of help. A GoFundMe would be created in order to help crowdfund some money for him, with more than 350 people coming together to give him their financial support. In total, more than $18,500 was raised to help Radish, which would at least cushion the financial hit that he would have taken due to this unfortunate situation. Apparently, the fundraiser was meant to help Radish before insurance stepped in, with money raised going towards necessities such as food, clothing, accommodation, and items for the kids. However, Radish's story is not quite as much of an uplifting one as compared to, say, Lance. Radish also seems to have had a lot of personal struggles ever since the fire, but it looks like he has the iron will to carry on, creating several videos in which he has since reflected on this tragedy. I can't sit here and say that I've watched him for years prior to making this video, but I thought it would be a good idea to link both his and GimpyGod's channels down in the description in case anyone who's watching this might want to check them out. Even if these incidents are years old, it's never too late to support them. So go check them out after this video if you want. But in the meantime, let's take a look at what some people have called a fire in a cake factory. Eddie Baker 420 is a Twitch streamer with almost 2,500 followers on the platform. It also appears as though Eddie Baker is some sort of a famous rapper, as his Spotify links to a suspended Twitter account that has the same username, Eddie Baker 420. And he's being included in this video for an extremely bizarre series of events that occurred back in January 2022. And side note, if you're keeping track, this is the 3rd streamer who I've mentioned whose fire scare went down in the first half of 2022. Don't ask me why this happened, I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but for whatever reason, in 2022, house fires were being caught on live streams 24/7. Back on topic though, Eddie was playing Star Trek Online when, for whatever reason, his couch began to spontaneously combust.
Oh! What the fuck? Hold on. Ah! My couch is burning.
Now, I can't say for certain just how this fire started because there weren't many articles written about this incident, and one of the only ones that was, a Sportskeeda article, also wrote that it was unclear how the fire began. The only theory I found came from Twitter, where someone said that it could have been due to some faulty wiring within the reclining couch. The fire seems internal. It looks like something happened within the couch. Eddie eventually flips the couch, showing just how widespread the fire was becoming, and then tries to take it out with some water. But when that doesn't work, he gets out a fire extinguisher, and while this does for the most part cut out our viewing of what happened afterwards, it also seemed to do the trick, as you can just about make out the flipped couch at the end of the clip, and by then, the flame is out. Firefighter Jeff said that it was good that Eddie reacted right away, but provided the source of the fire was the wiring, he should have unplugged the couch immediately. And instead of trying to put it out with water, he should have gone for the fire extinguisher right away. He did commend Eddie, however, for having a fire extinguisher in the first place. Unfortunately, this clip for the most part has been memed online, mostly because Eddie had his butt crack showing when this all went down. So most of the people commenting on this were laughing at the clip. That said, Eddie seems to have not been too fazed by this fire scare, with him making the clip not only visible on his Twitch account, but also uploading the clip to his Facebook. So despite this almost being a traumatic moment for him, it's one that he must view as entertaining content. But if you thought that this was entertaining content, then might I ask you to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are within touching distance of 150,000 subscribers right now. We're less than 2,000 away, so I would truly appreciate it if you could show your support. If you enjoyed this, then why not check out my video about banned Twitch streamers? That was the second episode of my Book of the Banned series, a fantastic video that if you loved this, I'm sure you'll enjoy. Make sure to check it out. With all that said, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.